Hey there, Maniacs. Chad from the Jumpmen podcast here with my top 5 female fighters from fighting games. Now, I'm a feminist. I'm an equal opportunity guy. I believe men and women are totally equal. However, girls are both underrepresented and not always the most interesting type of character in fighting games. Too often, a girl character will be created and she'll come off as way too girly or some kind of weird sexual fantasy of whoever created this female. So I believe that quality female characters that are also awesome to play as are few and far in between in the fighting game genre, unless you're playing a game that's just all women fighters, and there are a bunch of those, too long to list. Way too many. And there's more coming out. There's a girl called Girl Fight that just came out, or is coming out. And, it's like Rumble Roses all over again. Anyway. So, number 5. I'm just gonna look. Yeah. Alright. My number 5, Xianghua from Soul Calibur. 1 through 4. Now, I love playing as Xianghua. She's this petite Chinese woman with a sword, and not only did her breasts stay the same size between Soul Calibur 1 through 4, she didn't go from like girl next door to porn star like the rest of the female cast, but her fighting style is really awesome to play as. It's really kind of simple, for beginners like myself. And not only is it really easy to pull off a lot of combos, but you can also cancel those combos and really quickly go into different attacks. It's not like playing as some of the men with the giant swords that take like 2 to 4 seconds to lob over. So, really enjoy playing as Xianghua. She's very kind of modest, very kind of like a regular girl. So, my number 4, Dizzy from Guilty Gear. Now let's take a quick comparison. Alright, the final boss of Guilty Gear XX, Dizzy, and the final boss of Street Fighter III, Gil. They're both scantily clad. They both have fire and ice attacks, but that's about where the similar. And they're both really cheap. Let's not mince words. They're both really cheap at the end of the game. But Dizzy is so much more interesting than Gil. She has a tail. Weird. She has these 2 giant wings, also kind of like con jailbait material. But there's something really interesting about everything about her, from like her sweet, innocent character that's kind of juxtaposed by like these 2 wings, one representing light and one representing evil, and the wings morph into different things, kind of like angel, devil, heaven or hell, kind of representing the entire scope of the series. But she's not just like fire and ice, it's light and darkness. There's a lot going on there. And although, yes, many girls at many cons have cosplayed it as Dizzy, and the whole skirt or tail coming from out of the skirt thing kind of irritates my wife. But I really enjoy playing as Dizzy, and that's why she's up there. So, number 3, Samus from Smash Brothers. And it's kind of like a no-brainer. Samus is, the amazing hero, the ass-kicking space bounty hunter who just happens to be female. And oftentimes, if you're going for the best representation of someone who's a part of a subculture or a minority, or women who aren't in a minority, and you're an author and you're thinking, okay, how can I make this character? Just think of somebody, just make a character, and then just have them be, oh, and by the way, I'm gay, or, oh, and by the way, I'm a blue hedgehog, or, by the way, I'm a nerd, or anything, and Samus totally fills it in. Plus, she's amazing to play as. She's very quick, but at the same time, she has a charge attack that you can cancel or hold onto for a later date, and her smash attack and brawl is actually really decent. I really enjoy playing as Samus for a lot of different reasons. Anyway, my number 2, I had a tie. I knew who I wanted as number 1, but number 2, let me tell you, if I could make this list longer, I would have Mai Shiranui from King of Fighters, King from the King of Fighters series, and Elena from Street Fighter III. All really awesome fighters. I was really surprised by all of them, and whenever I throw down in King of Fighters series, Capcom SNK, Street Fighter 3 in its incarnations, I will always pick those characters. Especially Mai Shinui. She was really surprising, scantily clad character, really kind of annoying, really super cute, overly girly. But as I found out, a lot of variety in her attacks. She has this great flaming triangle anti-air thing happening, and once I figured that out, she was always in my posse. Capcom SNK2, I was always, my posse was King, Mai, Terry, in that order, always. And Elena has the healing attack, and really cheap capoeira moves that make her great. And King, well, she's like, is King the first openly gay, lesbian, women fighter in history? I don't know, but, I always like that, she's this tough, badass, lanky woman with all this, kicking attacks, and, she doesn't miss words. She's out, and she's proud, and I love that. So, my number 1 top female fighter in video games is, Chun-Li from Street Fighter. Of course, she was the first female fighter. She really set the precedent in a lot of ways in that, okay, you can have all these burly dudes, but you also have this ass-kicking chick, and also the precedent of, if you're not going to be as strong as everybody else, you're going to be twice as fast. And that's, you can apply that to regular life, any kind of sport, in that, okay, if you're smaller and you're not as burly, you better be fast, and you better be faster, and that's your advantage. And I loved it about Chun-Li, and they give her a fireball, which is great. And I feel like throughout the different incarnations of Chun-Li throughout the years, the original to the Hyper Edition to Super Street Fighter to Street Fighter 3, and now, Marvel Capcom 3 and Street Fighter Cross Tekken and all that, I'll always pick up Chun-Li because I basically know exactly what to do, and there's no clones of Chun-Li. There's not like any of the Ryu and Ken clones. There's like Ryu, Evil Ryu, Ken, Dark Ken if you're in Mugen, Akuma, Oni, Dan, it's like, and the list goes on, and there's only one Chun-Li. There's just one, and there's never been any character like her in the series. And honestly, even though her story is kind of like, she's an Interpol agent, who really cares, I always just appreciate playing with her. So, there's my top 5, everybody. And I know you have your own personal top 5, and I would love to hear about it. So please post a comment below, or check us out at jumpmenpodcast.com. Post a comment on our Facebook wall. We love that. And shoot me a letter, and I will definitely respond next week. All right, peace.